what would an NFC North all-star team look like? What's going on, bottom line viewers? It's Mitch here, back with another all-division all-star team, and in this video, I'm selecting the NFC North all-star team. The offense, the defense, the special teams, and even a coaching staff, giving you the best players at every position within the NFC North, choosing the best possible team from the Lions, the Vikings, the Bears, and of course, the Green Bay Packers. If that sounds good, don't forget to spike the like button and subscribe for more NFL all-division breakdowns just like this. Also, let me know in the comment section below your thoughts on Team NFC North. If I was correct on my choices, if I was wrong at a spot or two, let me know in the comments. And let's go. Kicking off Team NFC North with the quarterback position. No longer is it Aaron Rodgers. Yeah, that's right. Aaron Rodgers is gone to the AFC East. So we need to choose a new quarterback. And I think that guy, without a shadow of a doubt, is Kirk Cousins. Based on 2022, Kirk Cousins was one of the most clutch quarterbacks in all of football. Yeah, I said it. Clutch. Eight fourth quarter comebacks. 8 game-winning drives. This guy was a machine in the 2-minute drill. And Cousins has been so consistent for so long. Unlike a guy like Jared Goff, who's been a roller coaster throughout his career. Good, bad, okay, very good, bad. Cousins has just been good the entire time. Has he ever been great? That's kind of debatable, but I felt like in 2022, if he has ever been great, it was last year, in my opinion, just in his savvy to win games in the end. So the quarterback is Kirk Cousins, the guy that Mahomes called the most underrated quarterback in the NFL. At the running back position, my starter is Aaron Jones. Aaron Jones has been one of the top running backs in the league for the past 5 to feels like 7 years. I don't know how long he's been in the NFL, but it's probably feeling like it's been longer than it actually has. Aaron Jones has been an extremely consistent threat. He is deceptively powerful for a guy that is mostly a speed and elusive back. He's a very good receiver out of the backfield, and he can create a lot out of a very little opportunity. Just a dump pass, just a little screen pass. He creates a lot, and he's an extremely explosive back. Him and Dalvin Cook have been the go-to guys in this division, and Aaron Jones is the last man standing. He is the starter for the NFC North. The backup for the NFC North. Call me insane, call me crazy, call me whatever name y'all wanna call me, okay? My backup is a rookie running back named Jahmyr Gibbs. That's right. I'm going with Jahmyr Gibbs as my backup. I fell in love with Jahmyr Gibbs when I was at the Texas-Alabama game last year. I said, who is this guy? Catching the football, running routes like James White, Alvin Kamara-esque, great vision. To me, the best player on Alabama last year. Yeah, I said that as well. Jahmyr Gibbs. He's an explosive player. I think he will contribute to Detroit right away. And he's perfect in a backup role because he doesn't need to take all the touches. So give me Gibbs to perfectly complement and almost have the same type of player in both spots. To the wide receiver position, we go. The number 1 wide receiver in the NFC North is Justin Jefferson. Arguably the best wide receiver in the game today. The number 1 pick in fantasy drafts. Justin Jefferson is such a technician and a much smarter player, a higher IQ at the wide receiver position than we often see from a player of his age. Immediately, he just gets it. He gets route running. He gets body position. He gets tracking the football. He has natural hands, incredible Gumby-like body maneuverability to, like, whether it's with the ball, avoid tacklers, or without the ball in the air, make plays on the football, adjust to the football. This guy's just incredible. He's a gamer. He's consistent. He's everything you want a receiver to be. Explosive, all of it. The number 2 wide receiver in this division, I'm taking Amon-Ra St. Brown as our slot specialist, as our chain mover. As Justin Jefferson gains all the double teams that he's gonna see, we've got a shifty dude in the slot that can't be covered by single coverage. If you play man, you're in trouble. If you play zone, he'll find the soft spot in the zone. There's only one player that has had more receptions than Amon-Ra since his breakout late last year. That is Justin Jefferson. They're both on the same team. Wide receiver 3, I'm going with the new addition, DJ Moore of the Chicago Bears. DJ Moore is a well-rounded player. He is great after the catch, getting him the football. He almost is built like a running back in that regard, where he can break tackles. He's a tough tackle in open space. He can get vertical with great speed, or he can just burn you on like a slant route. I am really intrigued to see what Justin Fields is able to do with him, if that can up Fields' game. And I especially think he's been undervalued because he has never had a great quarterback, really, maybe besides moments of Cam Newton. But other than that, DJ Moore has been legit. Previous to last year, 1,100 yards basically every single year, like clockwork. So DJ Moore is wide receiver 3 for the NFC North. At the tight end position, yeah, he switched teams. He got traded within the division, but he's still the best tight end in the division, TJ Hawkinson. I thought immediately, once he went to Minnesota, he was even better. Man, the guy just became a safety blanket in a way we never saw him be in Detroit. You know, they tried to use him a little bit like a Gronk, where he's a blocker, he's a receiver, he's an after-the-catch guy, he's an explosive player. But man, his role is as a safety blanket, working the underneath, working the intermediate, finding soft spots in the zone, and then every once in a while breaking a play open with athleticism, being a decent blocker. But this guy found a rapport with our quarterback, Kirk Cousins, that you have to keep on this team. At the left tackle position, the offensive line begins with Christian Darrisaw of the Minnesota Vikings. Christian Darrisaw, I think, has surpassed David Bakhtiari as the best left tackle in this division. Taylor Decker is also a very good left tackle, so shout out to him. But Darrisaw was a top 5 tackle by many people last year, and huge breakout season. I was a huge fan of him coming out of the draft a couple years back. Thought he had a very complete game, thought he was slept on, and man, that was a steal of a pick looking back at it. I think this guy's a cornerstone protector for Kirk Cousins in Minnesota, or any quarterback for that matter, moving forward. At the left guard position, no David Bakhtiari, but we're going to add Elgton Jenkins. Jenkins is one of the best guards in the NFL, and certainly one of the best left guards in the NFL. And what I especially like about him is his toughness and his versatility and his intelligence. His ability to play all different positions all over the line through his young career and succeed in basically every spot, whether it's been left tackle, left guard. I think he's played right tackle. He's played everywhere, and this guy's been successful. He's got great toughness. He's a great mover in the run game. He's perfect for the zone scheme. I think he brings that all to the NFC North offensive line. At the center position, one of the best centers in all of football. I especially love the run blocking of Frank Ragnow. This man gets downhill in a hurry and he stomps you into the ground. This is an old school offensive lineman. I love the edge he brings to an offense. Frank Ragnow is the leader in the middle. At the right guard position, I'm adding a new addition to this division. You know, the Bears added a couple guys. We already talked about DJ Moore. Nate Davis has been one of my favorite right guards in football because he played for the Titans, man. I like dudes that bully other men. It's just hilarious to me. It is actually like comedy, okay? I'd rather watch a guy just run people over and then have Derrick Henry run a guy over in the midfield. It's hilarious, man. And Nate Davis does that. Nate Davis is a powerhouse. Nate Davis doesn't give any Fs. You know what I mean? So Nate Davis is a beast. And I think he's just getting started in the NFL. Looking forward to see what he can do with Fields and the Bears running game this year. At the right tackle position, we're finishing it off with Penei Sewell of the Detroit Lions. Sewell has already quickly become a really good right tackle, and I think a Pro Bowl level right tackle. He's very solid, very strong, very powerful, cannot get moved. He is a great anchor in pass protection and a very good athlete in run blocking. I think this offensive line might be the most complete offensive line that I have named already. He really secures this O-line from right to left, from left to right. This line is complete and really doesn't have one person that is below the standard of an all-star caliber. Moving to the defensive side of the football, my edge number uno is going to be a guy that was injured last year, but he comes back this year with a vengeance. His name is Rashawn Gary. Rashawn Gary, even last year, previous to his injury, was on an absolute warpath. He was putting up the PRP, pass rush productivity numbers from PFF, off the charts. Like, I think he was first or second. He was steamrolling people, and love his explosiveness, his just dimension of power, and he can also, because of his power and strength, set the edge really, really well. He's a complete edge player, a complete athlete. He is the edge number one. The edge number two and the complementary guy is another freak athlete if I've ever seen one. He looks like Adonis. Danielle Hunter. That's who it is. Danielle Hunter has incredibly long arms, uses that length to his advantage, really strong guy, and because of that, he has the flexibility to just put up 12 sacks a year. 12 sacks a year. And then he also has that leverage in the running game to hold up blocks and shed them. He's a really excellent player. He's come back from crazy things in his career and still been super productive, including last year. I think he is, without a doubt, one of the top two edge rushers in this division. I will say it was tough to leave Aiden Hutchinson off this list or off this team, but man, those two guys are just too proven, too good. So Aiden Hutchinson will have to improve this year for me to add him to the team. It's a little bit different here. We have one spot that I think is very obvious and very clear and evident, and one other player that I think is up in the air. For a bunch of different names will probably be tossed into this position for you guys. Kenny Clark is the best D tackle in this division without a doubt. Has he had a little bit of a roller coaster career in terms of he's been elite, and then he's just been very good? Yeah, he's had moments where, maybe at times he looked more like a top 20 D tackle than a top 5 D tackle, but at other moments he's looked like one of the best pass rushers from the interior in the sport. I think a lot of that has to do with scheme. I think a lot of that has to do with the pressure they put on him in the inside to be a one-man wrecking crew in the run game, the amount of numbers they put in the run game in Green Bay where they like to play the pass a lot. So I think Kenny Clark has kind of been at the disadvantage of his scheme. But overall, he's an awesome player that at any point in any season is capable of being an all-pro, really. The second D tackle in this division, ultimately this is a tough choice, but I'm going with Harrison Phillips of the Minnesota Vikings. I just think he's the most proven, most consistent, and most reliable D tackle. He's not a great pass rusher, but he's a very good run defender. And last year, he had his best season of his career. PFF ranked him as a top 32 D tackle in the NFL, meaning he's one of the number one D tackles in the NFL. And in Brian Flores' system, I'm intrigued to see what he does and how he operates. But as a run defender, when you have Harrison Phillips in the middle, it's just tough to get any run game going. The best linebacker in this division is a new arrival, in my opinion. I thought Tremaine Edmunds, now of the Chicago Bears, formerly of the Buffalo Bills, made massive, huge strides last year. We knew he had the physical traits, size, speed, length. But now the guy has clued in. He's become a more smart, intelligent run defender to find better angles against the run. And his pass coverage, I feel, is elite. Because he's athletic and because he's long, he can not only take up a lot of space in coverage, but track the football very quickly. So Tremaine Edmunds, very good player. I think maybe a little slept on because people haven't clued in that he really made a jump last year. The second linebacker in this division, I love this combination because it's like the same player, except one's older and one's younger. Devondre Campbell of the Green Bay Packers. Devondre Campbell last year was a first-team All-Pro, one of the best linebackers in football. This year in his second year, still a very good player, not quite of that caliber, but him and Edmunds are basically built the same way. Long, quick, athletic linebackers who've always been good in coverage because of their length and their ability to take up space. Campbell has really hit his stride in Green Bay in that system. This is a very cool duo in the middle because they're very similar. Moving to the safety position. At the free safety spot, I'm taking Eddie Jackson of the Chicago Bears. Eddie Jackson has played free safety and strong safety. He's great at both. I think last year he had a bit of a bounce back year. He's a great playmaker, great nose for the football, and I think he just attacks it in a way that is unique. Very intelligent player too, who will work perfectly with an in-box safety like Harrison Smith. Another very smart guy. Used to be one of the elite safeties in the league. He's still playing at a very high level though, and has never really dropped off. He's not the most athletic, but he has an incredible nose for the ball. He is very smart. He communicates the rest of his secondary. He's an excellent, consistent tackler. He does everything right, all the little things. At CB1, I've got to take Jair Alexander, one of the top corners in the game, who previously just said a day or two ago that he's not scared of any receiver in this league. He can shut them all down. And I believe him when he says that. He is fast, quick. His break on the ball is excellent. His ability to stay in phase with a receiver and break up a pass is phenomenal. He has great awareness when the ball is in the air to make a play on it. And he has all the physical traits to play press, zone, man. He is great. CB2 is a lot more difficult here. You could go with a lot of different names, including a Green Bay Packer teammate, maybe one of the Detroit guys. You could also go with Jalen Johnson of Chicago. Ultimately, I went with Cam Sutton. New from the Pittsburgh Steelers to the Detroit Lions, he is looked at as their CB1 this year. He's not the most elite, but he's very smart. He's very good in zone, especially a cover 2 system. I think he can play good press coverage, and I think he'd be a solid number 2 for Alexander on this team. The Nickelback and the final defensive back of this defense, I struggled with this one. I started with Douglas because I feel like he's played really well for Green Bay, very consistent. But man, I just have to go with CJ Gardner-Johnson. I just love the way he plays, with a feistiness, with an edge, with a ability to make plays, and I think he sets the tone. I think he's an energy guy for a defense, a great leader there. So I love the chippiness. I love what he brings. I'm going to make him the Nickelback for Team NFC North. Now for the special teams. The kicker for Team NFC North, Santos of the Chicago Bears. 91.5% last year, by far the best percentage, I believe by about 5% over Mason Crosby. At the kicker position, 21 for 23 on the season, and it's not easy to kick in the NFC North. Definitely not Chicago, so I'll take Santos for his consistency and his accuracy. At the punter spot, I'm going with Jack Fox of the Detroit Lions. I think he's been one of the best punters in the NFL consistently over the last few years, and he's got a booming leg. So I'm going to take Fox for his punting chops. And the returner, by the way, this is like the best returning division in football. The guy in Minnesota is really good, but there was only one returner in football who had more than 1,000 yards in kick returns. That is Keyshawn Nixon of the Green Bay Packers. Also a pretty good corner in his own right. Nixon is a very valuable returner, explosive, game changer, one of the best returners in the league, and I think he's just getting started, man. So Nixon is going to be the returner for the special teams of the NFC North. Rock solid special teams for the NFC North. The coaching staff is even more interesting than the special teams, which is solid. The coaching staff, the head coach, this one I feel like can be debated based on last year. I think some would say Dan Campbell. I think some would say Kevin O'Connell. But I think I still have to give it to Matt LaFleur based on his career so far. Yeah, I know he's had Aaron Rodgers, but I just feel like so far the proof is in the pudding. And the guy has done it and won a lot of games. And I think he brings a good offensive mind to this team. The offensive coordinator is one of the rising stars of the ranks and a future head coach. That's Ben Johnson of the Detroit Lions. Fantastic offensive coordinator, one of the best play callers in football, and one of the best run schemers. I don't think he gets a lot of credit for that. One of the best run schemers in the game. At the defensive coordinator spot, I got to go with my guy, Brian Flores. He's new to the division. I don't care. Doesn't have a lot of talent in Minnesota. I don't care. Brian Flores is a Super Bowl champion defensive coordinator, a really, really good football coach. I think he will do wonders with any unit that he is given. That is Team NFC North. Guys, let me know in the comments what you think. How good is this team? How does it match up with the rest of the all-star squads? Thank you for watching. Gronk, spike the like button, subscribe. We will see you in the next video. Peace.